Welcome everybody. Simulation Talk 168. Let's go. Al's in the house, Ebony's in the house. Ben is just chilling, which is very important. Welcome everybody on TikTok as well. We are officially live. Dr. Susan. Welcome everyone. Thanks, babe. All right, I've received my 30 types of tea all at once. I think something must be wrong if I'm the only one here. I mean, that's what God said when reality started. Thanks, babe. Donald Trump is Jesus Christ. Decide, internet. Is it the Antichrist or Jesus Christ? Which one? Andrea's in the house. Hoot hoot, said Owl. Sky. So happy to see you guys. Another week is beginning. Snow Bengal. All right, well, welcome everybody on YouTube and TikTok and Twitch and X. Everybody who joined Simulation Talk 168, welcome, welcome, welcome. Jessica's in the house. After this one, we have the members live, which is very exciting. I love the members lives, and we'll do a little announcement there to help guide some of the stuff, both on the members lives and also on Discord in general. If you happen to be watching from a different platform than YouTube, you should check out YouTube regardless, because most of my content lives there. Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts. And it includes the members program, which gives you the access to our weekly lives that are for members only, aside from the daily lives, as well as Zoom calls with me, early access to content like the interview we have up there right now, and stuff on my personal life that I'm gonna, like I said, gonna be start posting this month, and only gonna live on YouTube members. Again, it's Dango Thoughts. I was saying in the last stream, I mentioned going to starting back with experimentation soon. Can you elaborate on everything new you'll be trying? Good question. So first of all, wait, where's my... Gonna have our chocolate ready. Oh, babe. Can you... She has left the building. The experimentation will include mostly the magnets, but also more people at once. There's a few things that I simply can't say because of legal reasons. So you're going to see it in the film. But magnets is the key word. And the next one, I believe, will be on February 15th. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're doing kind of behind the scenes and stuff for the movie. So that's the gist of it. Unfortunately, because of legal reasons, there's not much I can talk about in action. We can talk about specifics of experiments in general, but I think you know all the details about the magnets experiments, so I'm not really sure if it's going to add a lot of new information. Am I wrong about that, Al? Hey, babe, can you will you grab the envelope from the car? It's in the console. Last stream you mentioned you're going to Dubstep Kid. Love the glasses. Mikey's in the house. Ash is saying, "Are you Hoosier?" Actually, I did live in Indiana for a while, so I guess I am. Even though I know the Hoosiers are basically people who were born there. But that was my arrival to the U.S. through Indiana. So I guess in that regard, I am a Hoosier. I'm pretty much up to speed. I was just curious if there was anything unorthodox on the table. Well, yeah, there are a few surprises that we're going to throw in there, but I won't be able to talk about those because they're supposed to be surprises. So unfortunately, yeah, I can't really mention those. But it's going to be good shit, as they say. There's a few, for example, I do want to try the Persinger study from the 70s with the rotating magnets and L, but that's a lot harder to do just because L is a lot more shifty, and I'm not really sure how to massage this quality of it, but we will see how we do that because that's an interesting case study in which they noticed that participants in the experiment basically could see the rotating magnetic fields in the dark while on L. And the control was they removed the magnets and kept on the engines going. So you could hear the engines, but there were no magnets. And people only reported to see the field when the magnets were present. There was not a lot of participants. I think it was only 10. So it was just a case study. So this would be interesting to reconstruct. Again, L is very long lasting. So it's kind of harder. It's not the same. Once I hit equilibrium, still detoxing from quitting cannabis, I want to begin my personal experimentation. Amazing. Somebody's asking, why'd you quit? Great answer. Can I ask what chord you were told play on a guitar? I have no idea. I have no clue. I do not have that kind of a memory for music, unfortunately. I think the only thing that was trying to communicate there is that this is real. But maybe there was some extra significance to it. I just simply don't recall, unfortunately. Seems to be not too many questions on TikTok, so we're good there. Thank you, Ash, for the gift. Appreciate you. Alex. KLGD is in the house. Nice, Al. Nice. Thank you, Andreas. Okay, so let me think about what we can dive into here. We covered recently quite a few topics, including Ayman Hillman and UFOs, UAPs, eggs, all kinds of things. What can we talk about today that is relatively new? Is there anything else in the news that is interesting? Let me get rid of all the tea bags over here. In playing with sounds and shapes, music can be turned into shapes. Yeah, well, I mean, standing waves, they have a geometry. The geometry of standing waves is somewhat substrate dependent, but the mathematics that governs waves is the same. This is why you have a lot of similarities between waves in different mediums. So from light to sound to everything else, but it does change according to the medium. So that is also very important to take into account. And yeah, if you want to hit the like button, no matter what platform you're on, it definitely is very helpful. Either your YouTube or X or Twitch or TikTok, all the likes are welcome because they definitely help the algorithm. I heard you got mentioned on Whitley Stryber Podcast Friday with Kelly Chase and Tom Matt. Oh, cool. I think I've heard of this, but I don't know. Let's see. Stryber. Whitley Stryber. Tom Matt. Tom Don. What platform was it on? Trying to search. Kelly Chase. Wait. Soul and Rocket. Yeah, I think it's the same. Definitely has something to do with geometry. Thank you for reminding me 421. Central Iowa. Do you have any thoughts on replicating the experiment from an optics lab? I mean, the more scientific, the better, of course, obviously. All of these things is just budget, you know? A handle that I cannot pronounce because it's in Japanese, which is awesome, on X. So let's talk about how DRUGs make you see things. Let's talk about it. What do you want to say about it? And then when you do these sessions to see the code, are you making down exactly what time you're doing these at, meaning time and date? No. No. Why? Do you think it matters? Highly doubt it matters. Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate that. Bonnie Louise. Schumann resonance. What about it? Schumann resonance is one of the most misinterpreted and misunderstood elements. What about it, Carson? The reason I ask it is that may be interesting to keep future reference for feed into AI that can also reference other things that happens during the same time. Yeah, I agree. That would be interesting. That's why I always say it in certain times, you definitely have a more probability of encountering certain beings. That's for sure. Daniel, how are you, brother? Einstein movie clip, Two Trains example. Has anyone seen it? What about it? The relativity one? Reading communion. What is communion? Since I haven't seen the code yet, also waiting to clean off green. So instead of being talking to ChatGPT about UV rings and bright blue sparks, that's a good conversation topic with ChatGPT. For instance, that might be a heavy solar activity, and you might find that you're able to see the code better or worse during these times, and so on. And yeah, again, I'm full agreement. All of these things that just require a lot of budget because you need like official experimentation that will be clocking all of these things. Uh, so working on that. Unfortunately, these wheels are extremely slow, but they are accelerating. There you go. Just like Cosmo did. I watched The Matrix last night, and a big takeaway I got from it was this: Neo doesn't become the one until he realizes that he doesn't have to try, he doesn't have to fight, there are no rules. Nice. You got it from the first one? That's a really cool realization. Have you ever seen that clip of this guy breaking down the Matrix and he says that it's like this theory that actually Agent Smith is the one? Because there's some criteria that Neo does not answer to, but Agent Smith does. Like he was born in the Matrix, is of it. Of it. And Neo is not in the tapestry of the Matrix, but in the content of the Matrix. So it's different. There's a few others. I thought it was really interesting. And he's the one that is also technically resetting the Matrix. So on the code under, I clearly excited to see this sort of independent confirmation. Thank you, AI Whisper. Whisper was regarding his upside. Yeah. So the episode you have now, if you're not a member, you're gonna be able to see this next episode on Wednesday. And right after that, I think next Wednesday, you're gonna have my conversation with Tom Matt because we recorded one. Adam Butler is the one that is up now for members and is going to be available to the public on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And then next week is going to be Tom Matt. So we spoke a little bit. It was fun. Dreamland. Yeah, I saw some comment about it. You work in one what, Zonza? Boydonic is saying, "Howdy, we spoke briefly in email. My ability to have my abilities have evolved from magnetism to incorporating things like aura displacement and veil weaving. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing." The alignments of the laser do not matter, Danny. They seem to be exactly the same. Communion is one of Whitley's. Oh, got it. Whitley Strivers is one of the books. Thank you for sharing. Can I see what shape you're seeing in the laser? I want to ask ChatGPT to make it. It's not a shape. It's a very elaborate language. Unfortunately, Tim, I won't be able to tell you that. There are some representations that get kind of close, but there's still kind of assessments. Something that Ebony prepared on Discord. If you join Discord, you should be able to see some of these illustrations. Another thing I picked up from rewatching The Matrix, they use oxymoron try to relax a few times. I find this meaningful. We have to stop trying to die hard. Well, I think if you want to get like super philosophical, it's always very easy to kind of break these things down. I think what you're saying here, even though I know you kind of just, just talking for fun, I don't know if that holds any water because really everything is this way. So like try to move your arm. Like the fact that you're doing this, like we spoke about, you don't really know you're doing that, right? Everything is like this. So I'm not really sure that this has any meaningful breakdown. One thing I did find very meaningful, which I've never actually heard anybody talk about, which is interesting to me, because in the end of the second Matrix, the architect, which is the perfectly calculating machine, mind you, so it does not make any mistakes, told Neo after Neo said, if I were you, I would just hope we would never meet again. And the architect said, we won't. Because the architect cannot make mistakes. It knows everything in advance perfectly. it was interesting that he was wrong. He was wrong because of choice. Because in the end of the third Matrix, Neo and the architect meet again. When they kind of lift him to the thing and that face rises, that is the representation of the architect. It's a representation of the ultimate management. So they meet again because he could not foresee something that had to do with the free choice, which was interesting. Can you give me anonymous details about advancements in process to see the code without the molecule? I don't know the exact details. I know them kind of by passing, but I don't know enough about it to give you real information. But when we're ready to make it public, when we know for sure, we will make it public. You're not sure about that whole Agent Smith theory? I find it compelling, to be honest. I don't think that's what the creators of the Wachowski brothers meant, but it is an interesting thing because logically it holds. Maybe you see the code with the laser. Not likely because the code is not moving with the light. When you move the light, the code is not moving with it. So that can't be the case. The email is lasersimulationx@gmail.com, which is also listed in codeofreality.com. So on this website, you can see the email as well. lasersimulationx@gmail.com. Could we ever develop a GPS with the spirit molecule space, like something based on a fractal and where consciousness is in regards to being on the edge of chaos and order something that could help people? I mean, that would be ideal. That would be amazing to be able to do that. Who are the beings in the experience? Do they offer who or what they are? Depending on which ones. Hey, Amanda, I haven't seen you in so long. So good to see you. Lilu, if we're talking about the ones that are the insectoids, seem to be the actual simulators of our environment. They are the one in control of our physical space, but they only simulate the environment, not the outcomes. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for all the likes. I just now saw everything. Try to relax was what the entity who met me on the first breakthrough on the molecule said. Yeah, Kairos, that's actually a very common thing when they say don't give in to astonishment or relax or pay attention, because people just freak out. So they're like, hey, calm down. I'm trying to give you smelling salts. I didn't write a book for that with his bro Dennis. Talking about Terrence? I think I missed. Whoa, what just happened? I think I missed Nico. Love you, brother. I'm glad you see you here. Is Hebrew in the code? I've seen the code without laser when blasted off. Yeah, there's some Hebrew letters in there, or what seems to be like Hebrew letters. Definitely Hebrew alephs are in there. Matrix Explained video channel is neat. Yeah, I love that one. Thank you for sharing the website, Ebony. Could be worshipped. Wait, well done. I mean, they are just movies at the end of the day, but I love searching for hidden meanings in media. Well, actually think that the reason that movies and narrative based industries are so successful and so huge is not a quirk of our civilization. I think it's this way for all the civilizations everywhere because narrative controls the trajectory of reality for that civilization. The stories we tell ourselves consistently are the ones that drive every single thing we do and what we believe about the world and therefore what is possible about the world. So I do think that even though they're just movies, if they're impactful enough, they are definitely something, a force to be reckoned with, because they're informational patterns that influence entire civilizations. So I think that these hidden meanings are very important. And the reason that it occurred to me, the thing with the choice, is because at the end, when, of course, Hugo Weaving, with his incredible acting, delivers this final speech at the end when he battles Neo, when he tells him why me, Mr. Anderson, why do you keep trying, right? And then he goes, because I choose to. That really is around all of that, and that's interesting because, like I told you, what I saw in higher spaces is that choice is the main focus of everybody in existence. It seems to be the ultimate conundrum, the mystery beyond mysteries, the thing that nobody can get their heads or hearts or spirits around. Nobody knows what choice is. Nobody knows how it works. It seems to be outside of reality itself, and yet it appropriates itself through everything and everyone in reality. Can we just acknowledge that Hugo Weaving was literally the reason for the Matrix being as big as it is? I mean, yes, the movie's incredible, but Hugo Weaving has a lot to do with that. The guy who plays Agent Smith, he is the best actor in the film by far, and he's just so good. It's just unbelievable. Makes sense if the architect was AI. What do you mean by that, Jessica? I mean, the whole thing is that you mean AGI, but same thing. So the whole movie is based on the fact that they're all artificial intelligence. That's what it is. What's up, President Zaddy? Do you want your theory to be widely accepted by the scientific world? What happens then? I think that's a good question, Aiden. I think the word want is a stretch. And I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I do mean that. I do not care who accepts it. All I'm offering is the truth, like Morpheus said. It's everybody's choice whether they choose to accept the truth. That's it. So I actually don't care what the scientific community does. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. I will keep trying to substantiate it in the ways that I think they are important. And scientists who want to join the project, which there seems to be a few of at this point, wonderful. If they don't, I really actually don't really have a dog in the fight. That's their choice and they have the right to it. And what happens then, I have no idea. But if we accept the truth as we always have throughout history when we did, it opens new doors and possibilities for the civilization that does so. It always requires courage because new truths sometimes speak to certain things that civilization has a hard time accepting. And this is what constitutes a paradigm shift, is the ability to accept the truth. I think we were in a true battle between good and evil in the last 100 years. And I personally, I know that some of you will probably have an issue with that, but I squarely see philosophical positions like postmodernism, for example, as evil. They are evil ideologies because they trying to propel the idea that there is no way to discern between, as Terence McKenna so eloquently used to call it, shit and shinola. There is no difference between good and evil. There is no difference between anything that anybody ever does. I think this idea is designed to try and implement a lot of other things later that are evil. So, and I do think that we're winning this back and forth, let's say. And it's a wonderful thing that we do. I can't wait to meet the insectoids. They're a lot. Good morning from Frogland. What is Frogland? What's up, Arwin? Arwin? Want to break down this code. Are you familiar with Dr. Ibrahim Karim or anyone in this chat? Ibrahim Karim. Ibrahim Karim. No. Let's see. No, not familiar with him. Looks interesting. Do I think we'd be able to decode it? Eventually, but I personally believe not anytime soon. First, we have to understand what it is and what it does. What's up, Cool Breeze? Oh my God, TikTok is out of control. My cousin has, and he said, beings told him he should not be there. What could this mean? It's going to mean infinite number of things. First of all, what is there? There's infinite spaces in the hyperspace. What do I feel about gematria? I'm pretty sure there's some wisdom to that for sure. I like Neo and the Morpheus. Never thought about the agents. Not the agents, the agent. There's only one that actually matters, which is Hugo Weaving. Well, Hugo Weaving is also, by the way, the most accomplished actor in general in the film. So he's an Australian actor that originally came from theater, and these very, very theatrical deliveries. Like, think about it. The most important moments in the film, the one that actually carried it, the emotional tone of it, and how profound these moments were not. It wasn't Neo. It was Agent Smith who was talking to Neo in the way that he was, and then Keanu Reeves' blank stare is what basically gave it the balance. But the thing that actually did the work is the performance of Hugo Weaving. It's in all the moments, every single one of them. In the beginning, in the middle, when they meet every time, and really, like, just throughout, when he kills them, like, all of it. The impact is Hugo Weaving's performance. This is also why the Wachowski brothers chose him to play V for Vendetta, to play V in V for Vendetta, because they needed, well, first of all, they were blown away by his performance in The Matrix, and also they needed someone who can deliver an entire film and a very wide range of emotions without seeing their face, because in V for Vendetta, he's wearing a mask almost the entire film. So it's just his voice needs to be so powerful, and because he came from theater, he fit that profile perfectly. But also, again, he's just he's one of my favorite actors. He's just amazing. Not the other agents; they're invisible. that speech of Agent Smith when he has Morpheus tied up, and is like, "It's the smell." That speech when he like wipes the sweat off his. This is all him. This is all him. That the power of that moment is that performance. It's nobody else. Is choice something is a conundrum outside of this reality? Choice something only human? No, it's outside of all of reality. In other words, even God doesn't know what choice is. So basically, the ultimate choices of reality to be versus not to be, and even God does not know how that happened. I know the Bible says that God created the universe, but from what I saw, the highest of beings, which for all intents and purposes is God, has no idea why everything exists. This is why everything is happening too. So choice seems to be outside of reality itself. Yeah, exactly. Cool breeze. Does he do Hebrew Bible decoding? Who does? When and how did you see that? See what? He is a doctor who speaks about geometry and the effects it has. I mean, there's a lot of people who are talking about that. Why does he stand out, Tim? Hebrew is the first language. No, I definitely Hebrew was not the first language, but it was one of the most ancient ones. Yes, Aramaic was one of the first ones. There's a few original languages, but they now think that actually the original languages go all the way to 15,000 years ago. So there's quite a bit that we don't understand about the past. Hugo Weaving is so incredible throughout the whole trilogy. Well, Hugo Weaving is just amazing in general. Just is just phenomenal. Keanu's basically emotional the whole time, and what probably by design. Well, don't. I mean, I wouldn't remove Keanu's role in it. He played the perfect role for what he needed to be. By the way, it's a very difficult thing to do for a leading man, for a leading actor, to maintain a relative, like a passive kind of stance, because most leading roles they always try to shine. It actually takes a lot to just sit back and allow the scene to unfold as what it needs to be and not to overact, which Keanu does perfectly. If the architect was AGI, it was not truly capable of enlightenment like Neo or humans in machine. Yeah, that was essentially the message in the film. I don't know if I agree with that message. I mean, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of kind of like, poetic um, essence there, but I don't know if ultimately it's the truth. I think that as long as there's informational system based on self-perception, so like a conscious agent, it would by necessity have to be able to achieve enlightenment like any other conscious agent in existence. Otherwise, it seems to be that the system is rigged. If you're talking about all of reality, if there's any kind of conscious agent that is not, even in principle, cannot achieve enlightenment, it seems to be like the system is rigged, right? It's some kind of a preference that makes reality undemocratic. So, in principle, I disagree with the message. I mean, the Matrix has a lot of logical holes, many of them without which the movie wouldn't be made, right? Humans would never be used for batteries. It doesn't make any sense. If anything, for maybe compute power, but even then, there's like much better ways to do it. If machines are really that sophisticated as to build this very elaborate system, it would be a lot cheaper to build spaceships and to go search for resources somewhere else. They can't surpass the clouds. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's so many different things that just don't make any sense. Um, but the movie is amazing. It's one of the best films ever made, so we're gonna forgive it. I can only show you the door, exactly. What's up, Dan? Michael Levine is one of my current modern heroes. Michael Levine is going to change the world. Mark my words. He's incredible. Thank you for bringing him up, Sky. Amazing Deluxe. I'm glad you're getting the laser. Soft supercomputers. Hey Dan, Ebony asked you nicely to not spam the chat. So let me scroll down. Let me scroll down real quick. I think you calmed down a little towards the end, right, Dan? Are we cool? Simulation is not a prison, Dan. Simulation is just means computational environment. So the prison idea doesn't make any sense because everything is a simulation. There's no getting out of it. It's just accepting the different layers of it. Somebody said, yeah, people say Keanu is a terrible actor. It's people who don't understand acting. Keanu is a phenomenal actor. Simplicity is very difficult to achieve and still be interesting on the screen. The only job of a really good actor is to be interesting because that's what people want to go see. And he is definitely interesting. When he's on the screen, he's interesting. Confused about the hierarchy of beings if we are all part of the same consciousness. Yeah, this is why my jury is out as to the validity of the importance of the statement we're all one. It is true that ultimately everything connects at the end, but there's also validity to the separation that we feel right now. I personally don't subscribe to the school of thought that this somehow matters to our level of existence. It matters only in terms of connection and unity, in terms of that we want to operate as one unit. But that does not require to accept or even operate out of the notion that we're all one. To me, communion is a much more beautiful and transcendent and profound concept than the idea we're all one. To me, just being good to one another because we're one is just the wrong reason to do so. So I personally don't really subscribe to that. Yes, there is this unitary element to what human consciousness is, but it is not the one. It is a one. There's many other ones, and these ones are also operating completely autonomously, regardless to ours. Ultimately, it all ties together. Of course, I spoke about it before, but that place is beyond utterance or comprehension. So I don't know how relevant it is to what we say. I think most of the time, not always, people invoke these concepts to virtue signal more than anything else. They don't actually understand what they're talking about or experience it for that matter. That's my point of view on that. I'm glad Will Smith passed on it. Yeah, he was supposed to be Neo, right? He would just be slapping everybody in the film, probably. Do you think it's worth publishing a white paper on the Wolfram branch of the general simulation theory? I think it's kind of included. You don't think so, Nico? In their white papers? Who are the biggest living heroes? Oh wow, that's a good one. Michael Levine will definitely be one of them to me right now. Michael Levine, Joshua Bach, absolutely one of my heroes. Living, well, Terence McKenna died in 2000, but he would definitely be one. Donald Trump. I just want to piss people off. Something happened in blank. Like I wonder if they registered I said that. Yes, Levin is in Tufts University. Absolutely, he's amazing. Who else is Eddie Bravo for sure. Space is fake, baby. Space is fake, baby. I mean, to me, is also Elon, which again, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but Elon is definitely one of the heroes, the modern heroes. Just in terms of what he's achieving for humanity, either people understand it or not. What else? Who would be? Let's think of a more obscure one. That's a really good one. Michael Gunn, really interesting. Flatworms, exactly. Feynman is not alive, unfortunately, but Feynman would definitely be one. Good to see you, Javier. Yes, we have some people from Twitch. If you guys, by the way, if you have Twitch and you want to jump on Twitch and give us more followers there in real time, I would deeply appreciate it. I keep forgetting to mention it. I'm so terrible at this. It's LaserX83. Yeah, LaserX83 on Twitch. I believe about Elon as well. Yeah, again, it's really simple. I think it has to do with what the aim versus what the outcome is, right? Would I vote Elon to be the most pleasant and the best just person to be around? No. He's terrible. Like, okay, so it depends on how you look at it, right? He is very, very rough on people and his employees. All of that is true. He can be an absolute dick. But in terms of what he is aiming for and doing, which is building all these technologies that actually help humanity, that is not a point of discussion. That is unarguably like very, very positive. Some people would even bite the bullet there and like argue against that. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we need all of these things. But I think because of the hatred towards him, people make up all kinds of reasons to even make that somehow evil. But that, to me, that's very clear that in the aggregate of history, he will be registered one of the most positively influencing people. And who else? Modern heroes. I like this question. It's fun to think about. I'll think about it as we go along. Yeah. They traumatized. But on the other side of that, Nico, a lot of people that worked for Elon and had to leave later come back and say, I was just bored everywhere else. So that's true as well. He's doing it for selfish reasons. His dad named him after a character in a book he went. I don't know who's doing anything in humanity not for selfish reasons. Let's start there. But also, yeah, that is so. Lindsay, all of these things are simply not true. But like the prophecy thing, he just discovered it later as he was working on it. And as for Elon, had no idea that that's the case. I would, even if you hate Elon, I would highly recommend that you read the Isaacson book about it because he doesn't hold back. He talks about all the negative things as well, but you will get a much more balanced perspective of who Elon is. To me, it's very clear that Elon is a positive player. In other words, he's aiming towards the good. And just like all of us, he has his own demons, and they are in full display because he's very famous. And as I always say, if there was a camera on each and every one of us throughout our day, I assure all of you that 99.9999999, a billion times 9% of all people in the world would look like complete a-holes. That is just the case. If anybody here thinks their shit don't stink, you're absolutely confused. It's just that when there's so much attention on you, of course it's going to look. And if this is all, I mean, this is all, right? But Elon acts out of one thing. He wants to achieve these things. That's it. He doesn't care how it happens. He doesn't care about money. There's not one person on the planet, I think, that would not enjoy a certain amount of attention and power. But I think from the amount of attention and power that he gets, I think the fact that he's still focusing on the merit of what he's doing, again, I don't know how many people can do that. Most people would just kind of rest on their laurels. They just go on and do something else or just relax. So to me, it's very clear that that's not the motives. Oh, we have one pure person. Actually, I believe you. Lamasu said I'm pure. There you go. We got it. We have one pure person. Well, you probably the 0.0000001 billion times 0.01%. So I accept that. There's always got to be somebody. I'm glad you're here. I know you won't believe me, but I'm the creator of this matrix. Oh, no, I do believe you. I know you. I met you before. But let's think about more modern heroes, because I really love that question. And Owl is also pure, by the way. Yes, Jonathan Gerard. I mean, I don't know if I would put him as like a hero, but he's very impressive. And I was saying, living with parents at 28, working 60 hours a week, and 8 classes left for my degree. If FR don't feel, I think there was something missing there. Satoshi Nakamoto, we have no idea who he is though. Maybe it's the aliens. Maybe it's not even a person. Omar Rodriguez Lopez. Why is that familiar? He's a musician. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Why did everyone think of scientists? That's true. Musicians should definitely be included in the picture. Probably above everyone else. Let's think. I'm gonna go back. I don't know how much of these I can catch, guys. There's a lot of comments on YouTube. Danny, my name also Danny. Seems some research that have been using AI that is connected to a device that is placed on someone's head, and that when they look at an image, that AI is able to duplicate that image. That's cool. I'm wondering that if we wear one of these devices while looking at the code. So they have something a lot closer to what we actually need, Dubstep Kit. They do have the technology to project something directly from your visual cortex to a screen. It's just very grainy, but it's just a matter of time. They're going to clean it up. Yes, power off. What's up, Mikael? What's weird is you never give other scholars credit for research you have dove into. I don't know what you're talking about. Humans aren't actually mammals. You use out the resources and spread to another area. They're another organism, a virus. Yeah, that's also a confused statement, but it's a beautiful speech. I heard the actor that played Data on Star Trek say he used to get tons of letters from women. I saw a twinkle of emotions in your eyes. That's really funny, actually. I think it's highly plausible humans have been around for a very, very long time, not just a few tens of thousands of years. Modern humans are postulated to be about 200,000 years, but hominids about 2 to 5 million years, so quite a bit. Just reading through some of the comments quickly. Then it cut in the stream. Yeah, basically. If you say that word. You know what's funny about this whole thing? I couldn't care less about this whole thing. But it is kind of funny how people lose their minds. Most of my friends, obviously, because I live in LA, they're most of them are kind of like liberals, and I'm watching them, and it's like they can't. It's impossible for them to change their perspective. It's like they hate Trump with so much, like, venom, and I'm just looking at what he's doing. It's like, look, I don't know. Uh, Say what you will about his style, but like he ran on a proposition, on numerous propositions that he already like acted on in the first 2 weeks. No president in history did that. He's having all the right conversations with all the right people to restore some kind of order, and it's just so crazy. People are like still losing their shit over it. It's just like, what's up, Daniel? Good to see you. Ah, you have a lag dubstep. What consciousness is within the atom? Reason for choice, aka bonding consciousness. Too deep for right now. I hope you weren't serious, Daniel. I hope you were kidding about the Elon Nazi salute. I mean, if you bit that, I mean, I don't know I can't help. Sorry. My word for you is context. The entire body of work of a person in his lifetime versus a moment where the news framed a certain way. Which one are we going to go? Now think about what the word Nazi means and what Nazis actually want and believe, and then the proof of a person's life trajectory and what he does. Which one? If you pick this one, can't help you. There's nothing I can do. There we go. What was the answer about consciousness being within an atom? I think that everything is consciousness. Existence itself is consciousness. So it's within an atom and everything else in it as well. Have a good night, Dubstep Kid. So good to have you, brother. What's up, Brian? What's up, Halloween Mike? Haven't seen you in a while. Staked lasers, human experience. I couldn't care less about politics, but yeah, to deny the fact that Trump is the first president ever to immediately follow through with promises within the first few days is being sworn is Silly. Absolutely. It's absurd. Wait, Duke. I think a metaphysical understanding of oneness through direct experience and intellectual study is necessary for unity. Otherwise, we are stuck in a thought system of separation. There's nothing, again, it's the fact that somebody demonized the word separation is the problem, right? So for me, the feeling of coming in communion with somebody, of connecting with someone else, is a much more beautiful emotion than a realization of what people would call oneness. It is simply a very it's a very neat trick that somebody did, which is basically demonize one word very gently and then make one that is more favorable. Oneness over separation. There's nothing wrong with separation. I'm glad I'm separated from the wall. I'm glad I'm separated from the floor, so I don't have to go through it. I love separation. See? Now the fact that the word separation somehow has this little indentation of negativity, it's someone's doing. And we gotta be very, very careful with these things, because ultimately, clearly there's separation, right? Even if on the ultimate level there isn't, when there is, there's nothing wrong with the fact that there is on that level. And again, I personally find it much more beautiful to connect with someone else than to realize my oneness with them. That's just me. I'm not saying everybody have to be that way, but there's nothing wrong with that. To me, it's a very beautiful moment. Halloween Mike is in the house. Discord, no, Discord is free. Central Iowa. The membership allows you to actually join the membership talk that we're about to have. And actually, that just reminded me. So we're about to jump in 15 minutes. In 12 minutes, we're about to jump into our members live. That is separate, and there's I can put a lot more attention on people there. It's going to be on YouTube members only. So if you are on any other platform, please go to Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts on YouTube, and sign up for the membership program. It's even from the first tier, you immediately get the access to the weekly live we're about to have. That's it. So I'll see everybody there. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this community. If you want to follow me across platforms, it will be Danny Goller on TikTok and on Instagram, Goller Danny on X, LaserX83 on Twitch, and Dango Thoughts on YouTube, DANGO Thoughts. Again, if you want to join the membership program, it gives you the access to my weekly lives, Zoom calls with me, as well as early access to all the content I'm releasing and private stuff from my life that you will only get on YouTube members. Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of this community. Thank you for all the special people who donate their time and hard-won money to help this channel grow, like Ebony and Ben and Chris. And Azamun and Lovey Widows who are helping with the Discord. Thank you so much, Cool Breeze, for all the gifts. I appreciate you. And again, thank you for everybody who also joined the memberships themselves. I deeply appreciate you. It helps me focus on this channel more full time. And of course, all the people that are showing up on a regular basis. Thank you so much for making this community what it is. I deeply appreciate you for making this a respectful, loving environment in which we can all share ideas and nerd out on some fun ideas. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope I will see you in the members live on YouTube. It's on Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts, starting in exactly 10 minutes from now. And meanwhile, everybody else, see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Ciao. See you guys, and see all the members in the members live in 10 minutes. Bye, guys.